Shalom, shalom, everyone, and welcome once again to From Pain to Passion, Purpose, and Power with yours truly, Dee Dee Cooper. This is the day that the Most High has made, and I trust that you are rejoicing and that you are glad in this day. This is the Sabbath day, so Shabbat Shalom to all of you. The Most High is good. The psalmist wrote, "Taste and see that the Most High, He is good," and He is good. He's good because He has allowed you to see another day to walk in victory, another day to experience His love, another day to experience breakthroughs in His power, another day to be enveloped in His favor, another day to receive new mercies, another day to receive new benefits, which are advances and advantages that He has so lovingly bestowed upon us on this day. So I'm hoping and praying that you are having a great Sabbath day on today, that you have had time to get into the Word of Yahweh, that you've had time to fellowship with the Most High in His presence. I pray that you are having a very, very restful day as the Most High rested on the Sabbath day. I'm hoping that you are keeping this day holy and that you're in His presence. So welcome again to From Pain to Passion, Purpose, and Power. Also, I want to take this opportunity, as per usual, to welcome those of you who have not done so already to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the channel and encourage those that you know will be blessed by this platform to do the same. Hit the notifications bell once you subscribe so that you're notified each time new material is uploaded. It is my endeavor to upload a new video each Sabbath day at some point, so you'll know when those videos are uploaded. Also, I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome you to join us on our interactive Facebook page under the same name, From Pain to Passion, Purpose, and Power. Now, this is an interactive page. It's an interactive forum. I post questions. I'll give you an opportunity to answer the questions, and not only that, to share how the Most High is blessing you as you walk on this journey called life. What is your purpose, and how is the Most High bringing that into fruition for you? And the Word tells us that, and they were overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of their testimony. So your testimony can help strengthen and encourage someone else on their journey. So please feel free to join us on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. We're on Twitter as well. There's an upcoming podcast that is coming real soon. There's new music that's coming out. So the Most High is doing some wonderful, wonderful things, and He's expanding our borders. And for that, I'm very, very grateful. Now, as I state in each video when I get ready to go into the actual discussion, we are on a journey, my brother, my sister, all of us. We're on a course in this journey called life. And life can be exciting and exhilarating, and then there's some not so pleasant experiences that all of us experience in this life. But the encouraging thing to remember is that nothing takes the Most High by surprise. I say that each and every time because between weeks, I never know who is experiencing what. Someone needs to know that whatever it is that you may be encountering or experiencing in your life, if it's some adversity, if it's an affliction, if it's a sickness, or whatever it is that you may be going through at this particular time, the Most High is mindful of you. It has not taken Him by surprise. The Most High is intentional with everything that He does. Everything. He knew you before you were even formed in your mother's womb, just like He told the prophet Jeremiah. So He knows the end from the beginning. He knows your end. He knows your beginning, and everything that you will encounter in between as you walk out this journey called life. The Most High is aware of it. Psalm 8 says, "What is man that the Most High is mindful of him?" The Most High thinks about us. Jeremiah also wrote that His thoughts towards us, they are of peace and they're not of evil, and they are to bring us to an expected end. The psalmist wrote about the manifold thoughts of the Most High toward us. many thoughts he has towards us, and he's only ordained good things for us. So one might think, well, Dee Dee, what about the pain? What about the situations that I've endured in my life? And what about the things that I have encountered in my life that weren't so pleasant? Because the word does say that every good and perfect gift comes from above, from the Father of lights. Those things that we encounter, those road bumps, those speed bumps that I call them, those roadblocks, the Most High is mindful of them, and we're to learn from them. They're a part of our making. When you see a beautiful piece of ceramic, you see the end result, but you don't see the crushing of the clay. You don't see the molding, the kneading of that clay, the putting it on that wheel and spinning it so that it can come into some type of form. And then once it becomes that form to which the artist wants it, he puts that piece of ceramic in the fire. And once that product comes out of the fire, it shines. And then he puts the final touches, the etches on it so that it can become a beautiful piece of art. And this is what the Most High does with us. Sometimes the situations and the circumstances can become so that they're crushing. It feels like you're being kneaded, like you're kneading dough. Knead, kneaded like a piece of dough or a piece of clay. And you're on the potter's wheel. And the Most High, by his infinite wisdom, is forming you, and he's making you into a vessel of honor. And then once he gets you into that form and shape that he wants you to be, he puts you in the fire. The refiner's fire. Go back and listen to those videos on the refiner's fire. It serves a purpose, beloved. So think it not strange, First Peter says, that when you go into those fiery trials, they serve a purpose, and they're to make you into that beautiful piece of art that can be displayed before the world. That's the purpose of it. So we're all on this journey. But along the journey, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, has allowed us to delve into some of the areas in our lives that he reveals to us that may hinder us from walking out that Yah-given purpose that each one of us has. Just like the runner that's running a race over in Hebrews, the 12th chapter, laying aside every weight. I use the analogy of a sprinter that's running in a race. They don't wear a lot of clothing. Why? Because clothing, they're weights, and they will bog him down, and it affects his speed and endurance in the race. You don't move so freely and with much speed when you're carrying heavy burdens, so you cast those things aside. You lay those things aside so that you can run the race. You can endure with patience because you're not weighted down with those things that hinder us. Low self-esteem, not walking in love, unforgiveness, fear, doubt, unbelief, not loving yourself. So last week, we began a discussion on your speech. Watch your mouth. Watch the words that come out of your mouth. Luke, the 6th chapter, the 45th verse, and this is in the Amplified. And I read it last week, and I'll read it into your hearing again. It says that the intrinsically good man produces what is good and honorable and moral out of the good treasure that is stored in his heart. And we've already said that that word heart is synonymous with the mind. Out of the good treasure that is stored up in his mind, out of the good thoughts that are in his mind. And it says, and the intrinsically, or the innately, or the man that is evil by nature, produces what is wicked and depraved out of the evil in his heart. So whatever is in your mind is going to come out of your mouth. The last part of that scripture says, for out of the overflow of the heart or the mind, your mouth is going to speak. Whatever is in abundance in your heart, that is what you're going to utter out of your mouth. Words express what's in your heart, whether they're good or bad. So today, examine yourself. What is your mindset? What are the thoughts that are overflowing in your mind on today? Are they thoughts of peace? Are they thoughts of victory and triumph, conquering, success, accomplishment? Or are they thoughts of fear, doubt, unbelief, defeat, being deflated, fear? What are you thinking about in your heart? Because whatever is in your mind in abundance, you are going to eventually speak it out of your mouth. And Yeshua told the disciples over in the 11th chapter of Mark, he says that you can have what you say. Your words have power, and they will produce a harvest for you, good or evil. Proverbs chapter 4 and 23 tells us to guard your heart or guard your mind in the Amplified with all diligence. Guard it, work at it. Watch over your mind, watch over your heart with all diligence. For from your heart or from your mind flows the springs of life. You bring life to whatever is in your mind by the words that you speak out of your mouth. What does it mean to guard? It means to watch over. Watch over your thoughts. 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, verses 3 through 6 tells us what to do with thoughts that are contrary to the thoughts of the Most High. It says that we're supposed to cast down those imaginations and every evil thought that exalts itself against the knowledge of Christ or the knowledge of the Mashiach, Yeshua. Cast them down, pull them down, throw them away, and then replace those thoughts with Yahweh's thoughts. Where do you find the thoughts of Yahweh? You find them in His Word. Flood your mind with the words of the Most High. It means to keep your mind. Isaiah 26 and 3 says, and thou wilt keep your mind, your thoughts, in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on the Most High. How do you keep your mind? How do you keep your thoughts? By keeping your thoughts stayed, fixed, and established in the Most High, in His Word. It means to protect. You have to protect your mind. Protect your mind. Build your mind up with the word of Yah. Build your mind up in prayer and praise and worship. Let your thoughts be those that the Apostle Paul wrote about in Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8. Whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report. He says, if there be any virtue or any praise, think on those things. So the word of Yah gives us the recipe and the remedy of what we should put in our mind, the thoughts that we should think about. And anything that attempts to enter into your thoughts that is contrary to those things, you have the authority, beloved, to pull those thoughts down and to cast them away. Isn't that something? You are responsible for the thoughts that you think. You're going to be bombarded with thoughts. Every day, all day, you're going to be bombarded with thoughts. But it is up to you, beloved, to determine what are you going to do with your thoughts. Because consistent thought patterns forms into a mindset. It becomes your mindset. Your mind is set upon a certain type of thoughts. So think on the things that the Word of Yah tells us to think on, Philippians 4:8. Cleanse your thoughts by the Word, Ephesians, the 5th chapter. Wash your mind, be sanctified, sanctify your thoughts. Set those thoughts apart by the washing of the water of Yahweh's Word. According to Romans 12:1-2. Renew your mind. Don't be conformed to this world and the world's way of thinking, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Ephesians 4:23 says that we are supposed to be renewed in the spirit of our mind. Your words, what you say, have so much power. James, the 3rd chapter, talks about the tongue. It's a little member, but nations have been destroyed by words. Isn't that something? He said that you put bits in a horse's mouth to control him, but your tongue is unruly and undisciplined, just speaking all kinds of untoward things, because that's what's in your heart in abundance. Proverbs 18:21, it says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. What are you saying? With your words, beloved, you can either speak life to a circumstance or situation, or you can speak death. Now, in the Amplified, that same scripture, Proverbs 18:21, it says that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those that love it and indulge it will eat its fruits and bear the consequences of their words. Did you know that there are consequences to the words that you speak? If you speak life, and you're consistently speaking life, then that what you are speaking life over shall thrive and live. However, if you speak words that will bring death, then you will bring death to whatever it is that you're speaking to. My apostle often says, don't mingle your seed. Words are seed. They will produce a harvest, good or bad, but don't mingle your seed. Don't be double-minded, as James talks about in the 1st chapter. Don't be double-minded or have two spirits working in you. One day you're speaking words of faith and power and victory. The next day you're speaking fear, doubt, and unbelief. Don't mingle your seed. You want a good harvest. Remember Luke 6:45, that a good man, out of the good treasure in his heart or in his mind, he speaks that which is good. That's what's going to proceed out of his mouth. And that's the harvest that he is going to reap. However, the man that is intrinsically evil, out of the evil and wicked treasure of his heart or mind, is going to produce a crop that is wicked and evil, because that's what's in him and that is what's flowing out of him. So mind your words. Watch what you say. My mom used to always say, you better think before you speak. Before you open your mouth, think. Isaiah talks about having the tongue of the learned. He says, oh Yahweh, give me the tongue of the learned, that I may know how to speak a word that is in season, that I will not speak out of turn, that I will not speak words that are rash. Oftentimes people get into heated debates and they say things out of their mouth, and then they have to go back to retract what they said. Oh, I didn't mean that, but that was what was in that person's heart. And so that's what they ordered. Well, that's what they uttered. Or they say, oh, I was just playing. No, that is what was in your heart. You uttered words that were in your heart. And the words that were in overflow in your mind, you spoke it out of your mouth. Be careful what you say. The word tells us over in Thessalonians, study to be quiet. Work at it. My mom used to say, if you don't have anything positive to say, don't say anything at all. Bite your tongue. Use the gate of your mouth, your teeth, to keep that tongue in check, so that you don't utter anything that is against or contrary to the word of Yah. It doesn't matter what your circumstance or your situation looks like. It doesn't matter what may be manifesting in the natural. Remember, we read the scripture over in Habakkuk, how the just shall live by his faith. Faith has eyes, and faith sees beyond what the natural is presenting to you. And then use your words, according to Romans chapter 4, to call those things that be not as they were. Are you facing a situation that is going contrary? Use your words. And if you don't know what words to use, pull up the scriptures, Google some scriptures, and just audibly speak what the Most High has to say about that situation. Well, how long do I have to speak those words? How long do I have to wait? I don't know how long your season is, but until you see the manifestation of what you are speaking Yahweh's word over, you keep speaking it. And my apostle says, don't just get one scripture. Oh no. Get several scriptures and just speak it out. Why? Because according to Romans 10 and 17, your faith comes by hearing, and hearing, and hearing the word of Yahweh. So the more you speak positive words, the more you speak Yah's word, your faith is being built up until you can look past what is being presented to you in the natural, and you can speak to the mountain, as Yeshua said in Mark 11, without any fear, without any doubt, without any unbelief. And you can speak to the mountain, and you can command that mountain to be cast into yonder sea. And guess what? Because you had faith, you walked in forgiveness. Let's not forget that part. Read further down. And there's no fear or doubt in your heart. You can have whatsoever you say it. Because when you speak Yahweh's word, you're speaking the mind of Yah, and you're speaking his will. And that mountain has to move. Isn't that something? Power in your words. Now, Proverbs 18 and 4, and I'm going to read this out of the Amplified. It says that the words of a discreet and wise man's mouth are like deep waters, plenteous and difficult to fathom. Have you ever been in a horrible situation and those around you say, I don't understand. I don't see how you are standing. I don't understand what it is that's keeping you going from day to day, knowing the adversities that you are going through. This is a person who is wise, and the words that they speak are like deep waters. Romans says that deep calls unto deep. The Ruach is in you, and you're speaking Ruach-filled words. And because of the depth of the word that you have in you, people may not be able to fathom or understand where you're coming from, but you're grounded and you're rooted in the word of Yah. Psalm 1 says, and this man, the man that doesn't walk after ungodly counsel, he's like a tree that is planted by the waters. His leaf is not going to wither, and whatsoever that man does, he shall prosper. He's planted. His roots go deep, and he's not easily moved. Back to Proverbs 18 and 4. The words of a discreet and wise man's mouth are like deep waters, plenteous and difficult to fathom. And the fountain of skillful and godly wisdom is like a gushing stream, sparkling, fresh, pure, and life-giving. Yeshua said in St. John, chapter 6 and 63, he says that the words that I speak, they are life. They are spirit and they are life. The word of Yahweh brings life to any situation. Speak Yahweh's word. Now I'm going to read Proverbs 18:6-8 out of the King James. And I'm looking away because I'm looking at my scriptures. And it says here that a fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. A man that is foolish, his words bring contention. Verse 7, a fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words, verse 8, of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Now, this is talking about foolish words, people that utter words that are not of Yah. Unseasoned words. Over in Colossians, it talks about, and let your speech, your words be seasoned with grace. A fool's words are not seasoned with grace. They bring contention. And it says that the words of a talebearer or a gossiper, one that brings false witness against his neighbor, which is against the commandments of Yah. There's wounds, they hurt, and they cut deep, and they go down into the innermost part of the belly. These scriptures are talking about a person who does not have wisdom. Proverbs is often dubbed as the book of wisdom. My apostles say you should try to read a proverb, a chapter in Proverbs every day to get the mind of Yah, the wisdom of Yah. So this is a person, Proverbs 18:6-8, who is not walking according to the wisdom of Yah. They just spew out foolish words. They lack self-control. Ecclesiastes 5:3, the B part of that scripture, it says that a fool's voice is known by the multitude of his words. I shared with you last week, my mom used to say, you want to know and identify where a person is? Let them keep talking. The more they talk, they're going to identify exactly where they are. It's not what goes into a man that defiles a man, Yeshua says, but it's what comes out of the man, what comes out of his mouth. Your words are seed. Again, they will produce a harvest for you. Galatians chapter 6, verses 7-9. It says, be not deceived, for the Most High is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, whatsoever, what does whatsoever means? Whatever a man soweth, that is what he shall also reap. If you sow good words, you will receive a good harvest. If you sow negative words, that is the harvest that you are going to reap. Whatever it is that you sow, that is what you shall reap, according to the word of Yah. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 3, it says that the Most High, he spoke and the worlds were framed. That is awesome. He said, let there be, and whatever Yahweh commanded manifested. You, beloved, have the power and the authority to speak and frame your world. What type of world are you framing with your words? What do you have the abundance of in your mind that is flowing out of your mouth? Is it words of victory, or are they words of defeat? Watch what comes out of your mouth. You have to tame your tongue. James talks about how the tongue cannot be tamed. But I tell you what, the psalmist wrote, he says, I will bless Yahweh, or I will bless Yahweh at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. If the praises of the Most High are continually, without ceasing, in your mouth, then you're not going to speak words of defeat, doubt, unbelief, fear. You're going to speak the praises of Yah. You're going to speak well of Yahweh. Yahweh spoke and he framed the worlds. Isaiah 55:11, it says that the word of Yahweh shall not return unto him void, but it shall accomplish whereto it sent. Yahweh's words, the Most High words, God's words, will not, shall not, cannot ever return unto him void. If he spoke, it shall be. This is why it is so important for us to speak what Yah speaks. Speak what the Most High speaks. Because his word will not return unto him void. I said last week, the 103rd Psalm, how angels minister to the heirs of salvation and how they hearken to the voice of the word. You put a voice to Yahweh's word. And when you put the voice to Yahweh's word, then ministering angels are released to go forth to bring you whatever it is. They're ministers to the heirs of salvation. Watch what you say. Watch what you say. Write out confessions and speak those confessions so that you can have the harvest that you desire. Oprah Winfrey said, she says, you get what you believe. You can have what you say. You can have what you believe you can have. And you can. When you renew or change your mindset, your thoughts will change. Your words will change. And once your mindset and your thoughts and your words change, guess what else changes, beloved? Your attitude changes. Your attitude changes. I used the analogy. I gave an example last week. I work at a facility. It's a warehouse. And my job at this particular juncture in time is a very physical job. And boy, I would wake up dreading to go into that place. Oh, I can't stand it. I hate it here. Blah, 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 blah. And that is what manifests. I just can't. I said, you know what? Let me do like David said in 2 Chronicles. I'm going to encourage myself. So I would get up, fix my hair. I always do that. Dress myself up. And when I walked through that door, I'm the queen of the position that I do. I got this. I'm a master of this craft. I'm going to have a great day. And I began to frame my world. And you want to know something? When I did that, my whole mindset changed and my attitude changed. And guess what else changed? The ease of which I was able and am able to do my job changed. Why? Because I changed my words, which changed my thoughts. My mindset has to change. And then my attitude changed and my numbers started going up. I began to hum and sing as I, do my job and perform my duties. And it changed everything. Your words have power. They will manifest for you. Now we're going to talk about someone in the word of Yah as I wrap up this series. And the person that I'm going to talk about, his name is Gideon. And I'm turning over to Judges. You read about Gideon in Judges chapters 6 through 8. Judges 6 through 8. This man, Gideon. I want you to pay attention to what the Most High said. And then I want you to pay attention to Gideon's response to what the Most High said. Now, just to give you a little bit of history before we go, because I'm not going to read 3 chapters, of course. This occurred, Gideon's rule, Gideon's reign. He was the 5th judge of Israel. And he ruled for 40 years. And this was a time during which Israel was being oppressed by the Midianites. In verse 6, Judges 6 and 6, it says that Israel was greatly impoverished. They took everything that Israel had. They were oppressed by these people. So now, Judges 11, 6, 11 through 16, and I'm going to my device here so that I can pull it up, because I want to read this out of the Amplified. I'm going to start at verse 11, and we're talking about Gideon, this man. And it says, "Now the angel of Yahweh came and sat under the terebinth tree at Ophrah." And Oprah said this is where her name came from. You take out the H, you get Oprah. "And now the angel of the Most High, or the angel of the Lord, came and sat under the terebinth tree at Ophrah, which belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, and his son Gideon was beating wheat in the wine press instead of the threshing floor." So there is an agricultural process that when you gather wheat, you take it to the threshing floor and you thrash out the wheat. But instead of using the threshing floor, Gideon was beating the wheat in the wine press. And it says he did this to hide it and to save it from the Midianites. Remember, I just said in verse 6 that the Midianites caused Israel to become greatly impoverished. They took all of their crops. They took everything that they had. They oppressed the people, the children of Israel. Verse 12, "And the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, Yahweh, or the Lord, is with you, O brave man." Now notice, this is what the Most High said about Gideon. Now Gideon, again, was threshing wheat, not where he was supposed to be. He was hiding from his enemies. So he was in the wine press, and he was thrashing the wheat so that the Midianites would not gain access to the wheat. And during this time, the angel of the Most High appeared unto Gideon and called him. He says, "Yahweh is with you, O brave man." Here's a man that is hiding from his enemies, yet the Most High called him brave. Do you know what the Most High is calling you today? Are you in a situation that you feel as though you've been obscured, or you're obscuring yourself from your purpose? You're hiding, you're withdrawing yourself. Well, the Most High is saying, get up, oh brave man, brave woman. Yahweh is with you, he says, oh brave man. But Gideon said unto him, this is verse 13, "Please, my Lord, if Yahweh is with us, then why has all this happened to us? And where are all his wondrous works which our fathers told us about when they said, did not Yahweh bring us up from Egypt? But now Yahweh has abandoned us and put us into the hand of Midian." Do we do that sometimes? How can you call me great and powerful? How can you give me this great task to do when I've gone through this and that and the third? My family has ostracized me. I've been hurt. I've been abused. I've been mistreated. It seems as if the Most High has abandoned me. And you have the audacity to call me brave and to say that you're with me? You're with me in this? Yes, he is with you in the fire. He is with you. Listen, verse 14. Yahweh turned to him and said, "Go in this strength of yours and save Israel from the hand of Midian. Have I not sent you?" Didn't Yahweh put purpose in you? Didn't Yahweh put value in you and worth in you? But listen to Gideon's response, verse 15. "But Gideon said to him, Please, Lord, How am I supposed to rescue Israel? How am I to do this task? Behold, my family is the least significant in Manasseh, and I am the youngest, the smallest in my father's house. Verse 16, and Yahweh answered him and said, I will certainly be with you, and you will strike down the Midianites as if they were only one man. The Most High saw a lot in Gideon, didn't he? Gideon only saw his inadequacies. He considered himself inadequate, but the Most High saw something in Gideon, and he used Gideon to subdue the Midianites. Beloved, Yahweh sees something so significant and valuable in you. You may consider yourself insignificant, and I know what I'm talking about. Years ago, and I'll never forget this, we were in a service and my apostle laid hands on me and began to say, I'm a singer, I'm a psalmist, and I'll sing all day because that's what I love. That's one of my passions. That's my first passion. You're called to sing, but the Most High says you're going to preach the gospel. And I said, I'm going to do what? How can this be? At that time, I was the mother of 3 young children. Insignificant. So I thought. Obscure. Nobody knows who I am. So I thought. But guess what? He knows me and he knows you. You may think that you're insignificant, beloved. You may not see the greatness that the Most High has placed in you, but there is gold in you. There is great value in you. There is purpose in you. There is wealth in you. There are riches in you. You have not even begun to tap into who the Most High says that you are. If you would have told me all of those years ago that I would be sitting here looking in a camera, speaking to thousands and thousands and thousands of people, I would not have believed you. Singing, yeah, I could have gotten with that, but to speak to people, I'm an introvert, I would say. And I did say, but I'm an introverted people. I'm not around. I thrive best when I'm alone. But the Most High said, no, there's something greater in you. And that's what he's saying to you today, beloved. Don't say that my family is this. I live in the hood. There's nothing good that can come out of the hood. There's nothing good that can come out of me. After all, I've experienced this and I've been beaten. I've been abused. I'm poor. Don't say that. Because the Most High sees, he knows what he put in you. He is the one that equipped you. He is the one that put it there. Gideon didn't see himself as a mighty man of valor. He didn't see himself as a judge of Israel. He didn't see himself as the one that will bring Midian to defeat. He saw himself as insignificant and worthless. He says, I'm the youngest of all of my family. We're poor. We don't have anything. Why in the world would you choose me? Is that what you're saying about yourself? Why in the world would Yahweh choose me? Oh, beloved, there's gold in you. There are people that are waiting for you. People that are waiting for your ministry, for your business, for your skill, for your craft. There are people waiting for you to find out and allow the Most High to uncover the gold that is in you. Our apostle this morning, such a beautiful word of comfort, was in Matthew, the 11th chapter, verses 28 through 30, where Yeshua says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden. Learn of me, he says, and I will give you rest for your souls. Take my yoke upon you. Learn of me. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. And for those of you who are feeling like Gideon today, Yahweh, I'm not worthy. I'm broken. I'm hurt. I've been divorced. I've been cheated on. I've been lied to. I've been lied on. I've been abused. I've been forsaken. I've been cast away and cast to the side. Surely there's no good that can come out of me and my life. Oh, but the Most High would say, daughter, son, I see you. I see you. I see everything that you've endured, and you're still here by my power and by my grace. Yeah, it happened. It may still be occurring, but no one would be able to pluck you out of my hand because you're mine. My eyes are upon you, and my countenance is turned toward you. And there's gold in you. I placed it there. Say not that you're not significant. Say not that you're inadequate. I didn't create you to be inadequate. I created you to shine. You are like the vessel that's on the potter's wheel, and you're being made. You're in the fire right now. You're enduring the heat of the fire right now. But my fire is my love, because my love is burning away the chaff and everything that will hinder you. This is why I'm bringing it to the surface, so that I can burn it away. So that when you come out of the fire, beloved, you're that beautiful, shiny vessel with all of the gorgeous etchings and all of that gorgeous detail that the Most High has placed in you and upon you. And you'll be ready and equipped to go forth and to bring forth those businesses, the visions and the dreams that I've placed within you. I placed them there. I gave you the dream. And it's for you to do. No one can do it like you can. You have your own thumbprint, and no one else has your thumbprint. No one else can do it like you can. Yeah, I can raise up another, but that other person is not you. You have the qualities that I'm looking for. Your personality, your smile, your tenacity, your humility, all of that and more I've placed within you so that I can get glory out of you. So don't give up. Don't turn back. Don't utter out of your mouth anymore that you're no good. Don't utter anymore that you're insignificant and inadequate. Don't say anymore that you have low self-esteem and that you don't feel good about yourself. Don't say anymore that I'm too dark or I'm too light or I'm too thick or I'm too thin. Don't say it. Don't utter those words out of your mouth anymore. The greater one is in you. He is in you. The creative ability of the Most High dwells on the inside of you. His life, his Zoe is in you. He breathed into you the breath of life. And then he gave you purpose. And then he put you on this course called life. If he brought you to it, he will bring you through it. Watch what you say. Watch your thoughts. And you're going to be a vessel of honor to carry out the purpose with power. See, because that fire, have you noticed that when you're in those situations, you cry out to the Most High and you're on your face and you're seeking him? Just like the woman of Yah said this morning to us. He wants you to keep coming. Come on. He wants you to keep coming to him. The Most High wants you to keep beckoning him. He wants you to keep seeking him. He's a rewarder of them that what? Diligently seek him. There is a reward, but you got to diligently seek him. Draw nigh unto him. He draws nigh unto you. So let the words that you utter be his words, his thoughts. Gideon obeyed Yahweh's command. Yeah, he asked him, okay, now, Yah, if this is you, you have to show me that it's you. Yahweh showed him every time, gave him the instructions. He obeyed and he defeated the Midianites and became a judge in Israel and a mighty man of valor, just like Yah said. Yahweh's word did not return unto him void then, and it's not going to return unto him void now. If he said that you're mighty, you are that, and then some. You have to believe it. You have to believe it. You have to believe it. Move forth. Move forth. Go forth. Go forth. It's in you. Tell yourself that you can. Be like the little engine that could. I know I can. He went to I think I can. He went from saying I think I can to I know I can. And guess what? When his confession changed, he accomplished it. But as long as he was saying, I think I can, he was struggling. But when he changed his mindset and his words and says, I know I can, he did it. And so can you. Say, I know I can. I can do all things through Yeshua, who strengthens me. Speak what you desire. Speak words of faith. A couple of other things. When I lived in New York, there was a lady that I used to sing with there. She has a beautiful voice. She has a doctorate in music. She is awesome. And she posts on Facebook often, and she'll post, make a post about a person who's accomplished something wonderful, not necessarily musically. And after she does her commentary, she says, God made him great. Or God made her great. Guess what? He made you great too. Go out and accomplish. I'm going to leave you with a quote. And it says, watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. But it starts with your thoughts and what comes out of your mouth. So true. Stay tuned next week, beloved. We're still going to talk about speech, but we're going to talk about another component of what you say out of your mouth. Next week, Yah willing, we're going to talk about murmuring and complaining. Murmuring and complaining. So stay tuned for next week. It's going to be powerful. Yahweh loves you, beloved. I love you. I pray that you have a great week. I pray that you are looking forward to a phenomenal week, a wonder-filled week, a powerful week, full of grace, full of Yahweh's power, full of breakthroughs, full of the miraculous. Expect it in Yeshua's name. Until next time, beloved. Shalom, shalom.